We are the emergency responders. Fire goes in first. If it's an explosive, EOD is also involved. We haven't had that anytime this week. But fire will go in first. They'll safe the scene, and they'll give us a brief on what's going on. If there is some sort of incident where we need to respond, a chem-bio threat, then bio and us will go in, usually in a chem-bio team. We can go in and take samples. We can monitor for all sorts of array of hazards. It's a very methodical process, but the more you practice, especially with everyone together, the more you get used to it, and the smoother it goes. You're always going to have challenges. As soon as you get in the suit, everyone always says that you get 10 IQ points drop off your IQ, and so it's a challenge, but it becomes muscle memory. Also, there's just no grip in your suit. It's hard to hold the equipment. And yesterday's scenario being with no lights on, that was just another challenge. You got to hold a flashlight, you've got your equipment, you don't want to touch anything, and radio. Communication is always going to be a problem. I expect to build a better relationship with bio and fire, maybe more training throughout the year. Without the IBERCT, maybe we can join up forces with bio and fire and just keep the relationship going. Mesh as a giant unit instead of 3 different career fields.
Right now I'm just out here observing and working with you and anybody else that comes out as an observer. Our team is already out here doing the facilitation, they're controlling the exercises, they're evaluating the exercise. And over the last couple of days, they did a couple of days of train them on some core skills like decontamination, detection equipment, using all this new detection equipment that they've received, procedures for putting on PPE, personal protective equipment on and off, and making sure that they can do that and not cross-contaminate themselves. So our team's been out here training them for a couple days, and now they're running through a series of exercises to validate that they've learned the new capabilities that we've been teaching them on.
Okay.
This is the Integrated Base Emergency Response Capability Training. We call it IBERCT for short. And IBERCT, the purpose of IBERCT is to bring 3 career fields together, the bioenvironmental engineers, emergency managers, and the firefighters, and integrate them together. What's unique about this training here at Langley is they've also brought in the Air National Guard counterparts as well as Fort Eustis counterparts to integrate into this team. So the team that trains together, understands their capabilities and grows familiar with each other and comfortable with each other is going to respond much more effectively than a team that tries to form up and meets each other for the first time when an actual incident happens. So our goal is to give them a common level of knowledge and understanding and practice together on the equipment that they're going to use, the personal protective equipment that they're going to use, the processes and plans that each of the career fields has, so that they can integrate all that successfully together and work well as a team together. We've seen this throughout the last few years. We've done this type of training across the Air Force, and we've seen significant results in the effect of bringing the teams together and having integrated capability. Okay, we spent the fall basically designing and developing these exercises based on headquarters ACC and headquarters PACAF's objectives. So we're doing this training throughout all the ACC and PACAF bases. And so they gave us their overall training objectives. We designed everything, developed the scenarios, and then we did our first pilot run of this at Shaw Air Force Base back in December. And that went really well. We obviously learned some lessons from that and figure out how people are responding, adjust our scenarios, adjust our materials, and now we're in full swing here. So we've got another 20-some bases to go after this, and a week-long training. So the idea, though, is to build on it over the whole week. So each base gets a couple days of classroom training, then hands-on with all their equipment. We run them through some drills to practice before we get them out in the real scenario environment where a crucial mistake can ruin the whole scenario. So we want to build them up over the entire week and build their readiness so that as the week goes on, their capability increases. And by the time we leave on Friday, we give them a post-test, and we actually have a game that involves all different types of equipment and some small scenarios. But at that point in time, they're ready to go, and their capability is much higher than when we left.
Where's my belt? Radio check. Radio check. There we go. That's good.
Show your butt.
Yeah, I have a beanie in my pocket to wipe off.
Am I on your way?
I didn't know anybody else.
We're here mainly for your safety, all right?
Keep checking in here.
You're at 58 parts per million.
Exercise. Team 1, this is Team Chief. That's a good copy.
Victor, aluminum.
That's a good copy.
Watch your hand. All right. Call it in.
Team 1.